we are yet to see more floods, according to the predictions. The March-May wet season is likely to extend into June. And because of climate change, the seasons have become now more unpredictable. We no longer have precise seasons.
Human life across the world is under threat of vagaries of nature, also known as climate change. Whether drought, floods, landslides, or even hailstorms, the effects have been felt, sometimes becoming fatal. All these have been partly attributed to effects of population growth, whose activities have rendered the fragile ecosystem vulnerable.
Approximately 5 million people in rural areas get their daily freshwater supply from the wetlands, and economic value estimated at US $25 million per year. However, these natural resources have come under a lot of pressure due to increasing human population and weak enforcement of the laws on wetlands.
While updating Parliament on the status of wetlands in 2020, State Minister for Environment, Beatrice Atim-Anyuar, disclosed that the rate at which the environment is being degraded is not matching restoration efforts.
Wetland coverage dropped from 37,346.3 square kilometer in 1994, that is about 15.5%, to 21,526.3 square kilometers, about 8.9% of the total national surface area. If this trend is not reversed, Right Honourable Speaker, by deliberate and dedicated restoration programs countrywide, we shall be left with only 1.6% by 2040, which is unacceptable.
Unacceptable because all regions were reported affected, with eastern Uganda leading at 46% degradation rate. This was at a record 25 years before 2020, with central and western regions standing at 29 and 28% respectively. This was attributed to expansion of subsistence agriculture, industrial developments, and settlements. Industrial development is one of the factors that Uganda has zeroed on as a pathway to economic development. This has unfortunately come with ecological costs, rendering wetlands vulnerable. When Lukaya rice paddy was established, the vision was reportedly to promote food security, employment, and also contribute to industrial development. Land was legally acquired and the investment license lawfully secured.
For me, I'm thinking about do something to help this country. In China, we see give someone fish is better to give them the skill of how to fishing. So that's why I do this, is just to see how to help this country.
The farm, which is reported to have begun on 500 acres, has since expanded to 6,000 acres, producing 10,000 tons of rice annually. However, in 2020, about 2,000 acres of the farm were reported to have been lost to rising water levels on Lake Victoria. despite its mechanized capacity, where the company has trained farmers in mechanized rice growing, land preparation, planting, transplanting and harvesting. Environmental concerns have been raised.
There were issues of trade-offs that could have led to strategic mistakes, especially in the location of industries in wetlands, permission of rice growing in wetlands, Chibuku, Ruera, and others.
Activists have raised concerns over diversion of water from a Lake Victoria catchment area and clearing of a large portion of a swamp that acted as a water catchment. They also decry interference with the drainage system, leading to heavy flooding and digging trenches in the rice fields that connect directly to the lake.
We also need food, so these rice schemes were allowed then for strategic reasons. It was a trade-off of environment and development, so I wouldn't say government was entirely wrong. It was a trade-off of the need to develop.
People who go cultivating in all the wetlands, all encroaching on degrading, maybe encroaching on the forest covers, there are basically two. One, the rising population is not matching the existing available Arab land for cultivation. Then, with that, it forces people to look for livelihood.
What's important is to invest more in climate proofing as well as climate mitigation. Climate mitigation in the sense that we must restore the ecosystem, remove the degradation, remove encroachment, plant more trees, but also we must invest in climate adaptation, climate proofing, have infrastructure that can withstand climate vagaries because they are here. They are here to stay.
Roads flooded, homes submerged, and farmers stranded remain some of the known effects of wetland encroachment. Where does the quest for restoration leave rice farmers? Henry Okrut, UBC.